Robin Lovelock's May 2023 press release, rough cut. And it is a rough cut. I've just thrown this together quickly. Robin's Corner, where GPS was tested from the late 1980s. A bit of garden sculpture from June, from my last birthday present. Now a very relevant topic. My old car, used often for testing GPS trackers of various type on journeys, many relevant to the robot boat hobby project, been going for years, first televised on BBC TV Live back in 2012. Various other hobby projects here, including accommodation for our cat Toady. Oh, there he is. He's taking it easy. We know that he's there because there's a little light that comes on. Hello, Toady. He's one of our guard cats. Now, as it happens, I'm not allowed to drive this at the moment because of a problem at the DVLA, and that is one of the stories. It's very inconvenient. Here's Snoopy's robot boat that survived 6 weeks at sea in his last 2022 attempt, and yes, that's one of the activities going on, sorting out repairs. Other videos show that. Here's the battle damage. This was the camper that took Snoopy down to the coast. Battle damage. June said Robin did it, Robin said the wall did it, but the wall is okay. And as people know, I'm a bit of a health and safety freak, and so there are warning signs everywhere about hidden cameras. Some are not hidden, and you have to read the small print about water squirters. There, I've done the health and safety, which involves the 2012 attempt and the lovely guys that covered that. Now, the important bit of this video is I'll show the relevant things related to the press release, and there's a range of subjects. The DVLA is one of them, probably the most important for me, but here's Samantha working from home. Lots of junk which will clear up in slower time. Yes, one of the many robot boats there. Glimpses of the garden outside, and through into the kitchen, and June watching tennis, of course. And yeah, June's an important witness to everything that's been going on, right from whatever the topic is, launching robot boats on TV, lots of other subjects, and of course, not least, the one of the DVLA. I say now, I don't want anybody from top to bottom to lose their job or get in trouble. Just want the problem identified, and a lot of useful information could come out, but too much talking from me. Quick look at the garden, and now I go through to the most relevant things, which are been online. And of course, when it comes to using the net, and I've been using it for decades, it's not important to me. I don't particularly want lots of visitors to information like a website or a video. I just want the right people to visit, and if they make good use of it, so much the better. So that's my home page, or the start of it. Somewhere I've got one of my visiting cards. That's the important bit. Retired, too busy for paid work, but all the contact details have been unchanged for years since I set it up for business, and I set the website. Now I've already set up some pages. This is the home page, gpss.co.uk, and there's a press page, and I'll go to it in a moment, but it's headlined here, Robin's press page, aimed at journalists, producers, newspapers, magazines, and the net, etc. So let's flip to that, and that's the page. And as it happens, the DVLA part is headlined at the front, and that was the reason I set the page up whenever that was, a couple of years ago, I suppose. But the important thing is there are many other stories that would be of much more interest to people, and I've plugged those in, and I've often illustrated them with relevant links to other pages. For example, the Radio Solent bottle tracking page, where we track bottles, and there's lots of other things there, including the robot boats. Lots of different stories, and of course some of them are related to charitable causes, and so lots and lots. That's just by scrolling down you get a flavour. There are lots of different stories there, and from my point of view, it's not about making money. If anybody thought I was making money from something, they'd say, oh, he would say that, wouldn't he? It's hopefully to do a little bit of good. So the next page I go to, which is linked from the press page, which is, I called it my DVLA Funny Farm page. So if we go to that, which is already been visited, so there, that is the page, and it has all the information about my case, contents list there, and yes, no apologies for that cartoon. Information security is a major priority at this company. We've done a lot of stupid things we'd like to keep secret. That applies to a lot of places. So I'll scroll down to let you realise that there is a lot of information on that, and in great detail, including the latest information, 22nd February 2023 onwards. Right, that's enough of that. Now, much more interesting subject is Snoopy's Robot Boat, and a fun project. Loads of people might get interested in it. They don't have to be a boat across the Atlantic, but here's a flavour of the publicity we got. Cancel that. Back in 2012.
Seen the launch of a transatlantic sailing attempt this morning in a model boat. Retired NATO scientist Robin Lovelock launched his Snoop Loop from Barton-on-Sea towards the Bahamas. It's already been tested over 5,000 miles on a lake in Berkshire. The model will be steered and tracked through a satellite system, and by Snoopy of course, and it should make the crossing in 6 months, if it survives, that is.
The most important thing of the lot, of course, is Snoopy the Viking, the skipper. I don't think he'd make it otherwise. We've also got another bit and piece here. This is a GPS logger that logs the position every 15 minutes. That was back in 2012. The guy that put this material together, including the live broadcast and what went up on the BBC website, is Ben Moore.
I just worry for Snoopy. Sport now, and Hampshire.
Right, on to the next topic. Right. Now, I'm going to do this all in one take. All unrehearsed and unscripted, so sorry about that. What I'd like to happen, if anybody picks up on the DVLA story, is, as I say, nobody getting into trouble, and that's a genuine request, but when they find flaws in procedures where they don't cover certain things, be good if those are fixed. What I think would be useful for anybody looking at the DVLA and perhaps helping them is, first of all, their organisation chart showing the structure. Yes, it's well known who the head of the DVLA, remarkable woman looking at her CV, and relevant to this story is the head of the health part. But it would be very useful to see, even if names aren't attached, obviously the names can be attached where they're public already, is how many people in each branch, how many people are reporting to how many. So a simple tree would help. I suggest that first of all. Then, perhaps even more important, is how many people working for the DVLA, even if you don't identify the individuals, are salaried by the DVLA excuse me, directly, as opposed to contracted through an agency or a business. That is very important, and we've seen what's been happening in places like the NHS for years. So that comes into the equation in terms of whether money is well spent, and of course the DVLA collects a lot of money, and there are probably other things as well. But as a starting point, I'd hope anybody that responds to this, I can't afford to get overloaded, we've got other things to do, many other things to do, and we'll be taking a holiday, that'll be public, yes. I'm tracked everywhere by different things, and in fact, if anybody's paranoid about it, anybody who's tracking somebody or looking at somebody's probably seen already. But at the end of the day, there's me wittering on, which is one of my main weaknesses since I was a little child. That's why if you put things up, clearly be careful what you put up, and often it can do some good. So I think that's it. So time to wrap up this very rough cut. I hope anybody who does contact me, I suggest the most practical way is by email. I don't want to be overloaded, and at the very minimum they have their full contact details. And this is Toady, has just come to join us. He's one of our fierce guard cats, so beware. Right, so just remains to say, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have.